This is an alien movie as written by a bunch of 7th graders who listen to guys like us tell them what Alien was. Episode 5 is just bad. It's just bad. It's the title of the video is everything. Everybody on this show is dumb except Morrow. I just couldn't fit all that in there, but everybody's dumb. I had a thought that I wanted to get. I wanted to ask you a question before we even discuss the episode, really. Would this show have been better if episode 5 had literally been the pilot?
Yeah, I would definitely say that, because I say what episode 5 really is pointless. That's the easiest way to put it. We knew all this. Why are you reiterating what we already know? They all died. We know this. Why do you have to show me how they died? It's not important to the story. It does not move the plot minus one thing. One thing in that whole thing moved the plot. In that whole 40-minute or 50-minute flop that was completely pointless, one thing moved the plot.
So
we see that the eye creature and the xenomorph are enemies.
You know what? That's the most interesting thing that happened. I'll give you that. I
Hands
wasn't
down.
expecting that. Yeah. Dude, yeah. Somebody has said to me earlier, they were like, what did you think? If this would have been the pilot, would it have mattered? And I'm like, you know why it wouldn't have mattered? Because all it did was exchange one group of pointless characters I didn't like for another group of pointless characters that weren't interesting, that didn't like, and are dumb. You know what I mean? This group of grown-ups that they so desperately want you to think that these clowns are the crew from the Nostromo and Alien. Like, they're not the Marines from Aliens. No shot. I mean, no. Morrow might be all right with that group, but the Marines would eat these clowns for breakfast, right? They want you to think this is the Nostromo crew. Bunch of space truckers, grease-covered coveralls. They ain't that. Not remotely. No. There's no personality with any of these dicks. Not remotely.
I didn't even see where they tried to have them as that, because they're all kind of like, how would I call them? The only one that played off like that was the engineer. These are more people who gave up their lives for the corporation. That's how they play these off.
I meant in terms of the ensemble, like that's what they were going for. That they're deep space. Like, this is just who they are. They gave us here a little bit more ammo with the whole, especially with Morrow, because we saw the implications of that. Where, I'm going up there. I'm talking to my 13-year-old daughter or whatever. You're never going to see me again. Like, I won't be back. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm doing this to secure not even generational wealth. Like, it's just to give you something, right?
Yeah.
But none of these characters are likable. They did the naming thing again. They screwed that up so bad that, like, I honestly called that one character Chlamydia for the whole episode, because I'm like, I don't remember his real name because it wasn't used 6 episodes ago when this shit started. So there's nothing there to grab onto. I still know Morrow's name.
It doesn't matter if you know his name. He died. Yeah. Everyone died. I mean, there's no point to this episode.
Yeah, dude, it really doesn't. And it's like you said, it might have been one thing if there was something interesting that brought the ship down, but it's exactly what we were talking about like 3 times previous. Yeah. Nothing interesting brought the ship down. It was sabotage, and we kind of knew that. Yeah, that was kind of our assumption going into the show.
We did get the big reveal that the whole thing was planned to land in Genius's kingdom.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to get to that critically stupid picture part in a minute. Believe that. That's right up there on my list of how dumb this episode is. But we have start to finish all these things that they try to do. And they try to do it in a way that I think they want us to believe that this crew is qualified to do what they do. Like, I'm thinking of the medical and the science folks in particular. Like, the only person that's not incompetent on this show is Morrow, chief of security. Like, their replacement captain. Dude, I hate calling people DEI hires. That broad comes across as a DEI hire. Sorry, I said it. Sorry, don't know what to do. Banging a crewmate. No accountability.
Yeah, you could go with that with the scientist who eats your lunch around organisms in an open lab.
Yeah, nobody.
She's like, she calls the mess hall nasty because homeboy's smoking in it. I'm like, dude, you just sat next to a leech who spit like 700 larvae into your water. But yeah, that place is disgusting.
Dude, I get it. The only time you get away with that scene, it's kind of a trope. If you go back and you look at like 80s slashers, like coroners do that all the time. Like, they're always working graveyard shift, eating half a sandwich while doing an autopsy. But that's like a vibe for like those kind of dopey horror shows and movies. This show wants you to take it serious. that it fits within the upper echelon of like Alien and Aliens, and some people would add Romulus. I won't. You know what I mean? But they want to be considered up there. But you're exactly right. They don't pull off. They don't understand why that works elsewhere. You know, and you can go right back to the OG Alien and be like, oh, when they brought can't remember the character's name on top of my head, but when Dallas and Ash went into work on him, dude, they were gloved up. They had the surgical gown on. They had the face mask on. They treated it like a sterile surgical procedure. These clowns, these effing clowns, are in there doing their diagnostics. Like you said, dude, one of them smoking, the other one's got a cup of fucking coffee. Kane, thank you, Pape. Kane, thank you, appreciate you. Like they're in there like it's no big deal, right? And then this asshole decides they're gonna do the emergency surgery. I'm like, you know what? If your ass gets rolled into an ER, shot up 17 times, or mangled in a car wreck, you know what they do right when they're taking you into emergency surgery? They still scrub up to work on you. Mm-hmm. You know, the nurses that greet you through the door, they're still throwing gloves on to stop the bleeding, no matter what. They open this dude up, no anesthetic, you know, no topical antibiotic agents, anything like that. They cut him open. They observe what they're trying to do. Like oh shit, we see leeches or ticks or whatever. And then they just
leeches, they called them.
Whatever they call them.
No, they call them ticks.
They call them ticks. They look like leeches, but they call them ticks, right? And like he pulls one off, it ruptures and like instantly gasses them both at like short range. I'm like, well, that's another good reason you don't stick your face over a surgical wound while you're working on it. You know, so
that's why you wear a mask.
You wear a mask, right?
It's the proper time to wear a mask.
Kind of right there. They die gruesomely, but not so gruesomely. They hit the emergency quarantine protocol that you could argue, I guess, maybe kills them. But these people are morons. Like even Morrow, to a degree, is dumber here for plot reasons than his character is. Like when he has to investigate the possible sabotage, he rolls the videotape back not to see who entered the cargo bay that just also happens to have like the circuit breaker that controls engineering, that controls propulsion, that controls life support, and like three other things.
How is that junction going through a storage unit?
No idea.
When engineering is all the way in the back.
Oh no. No idea. Anyway, right? So he only rolls it back to his buddies fighting the fire so we can get the benefit of watching the face huggers get him. I'm like, bro, how did you just not roll it back until you saw somebody that wasn't authorized to be in there and see who it was? Like, why are you people so stupid? I honestly don't get it. There's a way to do all of this smart, and they actively chose not to do any of it. None of it.
No, none
of it.
Like,
nah, we're not doing that today. We're good. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
let's throw common sense out the window.
No, dude, out the airlock like it was the Expanse and it committed a petty crime, and they're like, nah, fuck it, space them.
They're thinking that common sense might actually take a part of their share.
And dude, as we saw, dude, tell me this kid, the engineering apprentice, is he not the dumbest motherfucker in this universe, in this combined universe? Is he not the stupidest?
So they took Florida man and bred him with West Virginia, and then threw him down and got his education in down in the Delta.
Yeah, and had him do nothing cool like standing in a hurricane with an American flag and like a bottle rocket launch.
Yeah,
like he did none of that.
He didn't even have a mullet. He deserved a mullet.
He had a stupid hat. He had a stupid hat in a lot of it.
And he likes to eat.
He likes pie. You would think maybe there was some subtext to that pie scene. There wasn't. Nope. It was just stupid. Yeah, this stupid son of a bitch has nothing smart to say.
Ever.
Right? Ever. In any scene that he's in. Has he done anything in both of these episodes? No. He died. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about all these assholes dying. I've seen all week I've seen since yesterday. It feels
since yesterday.
Since yesterday. People telling me this is a classic return to Alien. In fact, the recap article that I have open right here, so I can keep track of like scenes we're gonna do. It's like the title of the article is Alien Earth finally gives in and becomes an Alien movie.
No, it doesn't.
I find that offensive, right?
This becomes a sick parody of an Alien movie.
Exactly. That's exactly what this is. Oh, there's a captain and gets a face hugger. Got it. There's a xenomorph and air ducts. Got it. There's a synth or a cyborg that's got to investigate and get everybody to safety. Got it. The only thing this didn't have was the ship's engines were going to rupture and explode.
And no warrant officer.
Right. Or anybody making any intelligent fucking decisions. It definitely didn't have
warrant
that.
Officer.
Exactly. You know, we have one of
Morrow's
those.
the designated warrant officer
Right.
in this show.
You know, these assholes dying, and to go back to the people's opinion on it being alien, I'm like, I'll give you this looks like alien because I think the only good thing I can say about this show is you can tell they went out of their way to make something look period specific to like Weyland Yutani, to the Nostromo, to like that future retro tech vibe thing that they did, the big analog computer displays in the mother room and stuff like that. Like they got
you mean the old dad garage TV?
Yeah.
The baseball TV as their monitors.
The monitor is like 8 inches, but like the frame around it and the whole box itself is like 4 feet wide. Yeah, exactly that.
Is that old TV they used to hit on and that worked on the car and listen to the ball game on?
Exactly. They got that. They got none of the other stuff right. They didn't even get the body horror right at this part. And this is the part that slays me. We know this show isn't afraid to pull its punches when it gets around to murking people, because we get the bougie party that got destroyed in the apartment.
Yeah,
we get the two security officers that got the ticks on the neck thing. The CRT monitor, just
CRT, but
CRT.
They even looked worse than CRT. I think CRT was more high tech than what they were showing.
Yeah, see, the monitors in this world would be like negative 480p, like they would just work in reverse.
I think they're monitors from an old closed mall from the 80s.
It could be refurb, painted yellow, tan. The thing they get wrong in this episode is the body horror, is the disgustingness, right? We had every opportunity here to get something super gross from multiple character deaths, because this was it. Nobody was surviving this episode besides Morrow, right?
Yeah, which we already knew.
So engineering kid throws up some Kool-Aid. Okay. And it looked like Kool-Aid. Like it literally looked like thin and pink.
Yeah.
It was not a good effect. Not a good blood effect.
They could have did a lot better. I have a great special effects makeup person who makes really good blood. You should hire her. She'd do a better job.
It literally needed some like coffee grounds mixed into it to add texture or something tangible. Like
he just ate some breakfast or something, right? Or that whatever that meal was during the meeting.
It needed anything, right? So that death was pointless. The deaths of the two medical folks doing the autopsy, not the autopsy at that point, but the procedure, pointless. We get some eye bulgy thing. Nope, that was stupid,
dumb.
And even the surgery itself, terrible. Like you opened them up and it looked dry, it looked plastic, it looked like chewing. You remember those old wax candies that have like the little bit of like gusher fluid in them back in the day, and you had to like chew the bottle, they were like soda bottles. Like the inside of that looked like that.
Like it looks like plastic. When you're doing a low budget horror film and you use nylon and like a balloon to make it look like intestines.
Except this is a $200 million show. Other folks that died in this episode, everybody in the cryo tubes that didn't wake up. So those were all the bodies that.
Well, at least they died asleep.
Yep, I'll do it. Dude, send me out like that, please.
Yeah.
In this situation,
you know who died and they didn't explain anything about him is weird bald Asian dude who just sits there and stares at the one girl. And...
Right. Oh no. Yeah. No. They showed what happened. You off screen. The Xeno got him from the grate on top.
Yeah. I know he died. They never explained why he's so weird and why he stares at her and like
because
plays
again
with her underwear.
Dude, what did I say? Episode effing 1. I said we've got 2 interesting characters on this show, Morrow and the synth guy, right? And the synth guy died in the first episode.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, why would this dude have a fascination with this girl? And then they make it even worse because Morrow during the interrogation's like, I've watched you on the cameras doing your filth while she sleeps. Like, dude, I want to know more about that dude. That sounds sick. Yeah. I want in on that and then Morrow to kill him. No, interesting character gone. Don't matter. Fuck him. No point on the show. So we didn't get him, right? We got chlamydia. And to be clear, I mean, that's the character's name. Neither King
the other security
affiliated
guy
with Winterwolfstein has chlamydia. The other security guy takes like 2-3 bullets and they get shot in the head.
Yep.
It was a CGI headshot. So I'm like, I don't care. Trash. Don't give a shit. But I have to talk more about that character. I got to talk about Petrovich, right? In the span of 8 minutes of this show, they invent the sabotage mystery and solve it with someone we've never met, whose mechanism of why he's a saboteur is the stupidest shit they could have picked. The stupidest effing thing they could have picked.
A full share.
Was not even that. There's motivation. Not even that is the motivation. The mechanism by which it happened was Boy Cavalier just placed a long distance call to a non-company affiliated ship, got a hold of this dude. How did he know him? Did he call the operator on the ship and be like, "Hey, can you put me through to your shadiest dude? Like, I need to make a contact." Like, how did that happen?
1-800 bad guy.
Yeah, I don't get it. So now all of a sudden, this dude, this stupid son of a bitch, is like, "Oh yeah, you know what? I want a robot body. Oh yeah, we can do that. No problem." Dude, King Z in the house. And Boy Cavalier, trillionaire, 1200 IQ, he'd do it himself. He wouldn't have a guy that knows a guy that has a guy through a shell company, through another guy, make that connection. He wouldn't have his butler do that at the very least.
I mean, that's the whole reason you have shell companies.
I'm
so
just
they can
saying,
pay these shady people to do shady stuff.
I'm just saying, right? The show wanted you to think they were slick because at least Petrovich like deleted records and like altered law. Like, he did some corporate espionage, cover my shit up thing. He wouldn't have thought that the cyborg head of security had basic data recovery skills under his belt to get the files back, that had the phone call on tap.
Well, it wasn't even Morrow, the chlamydia dude. He's like, I already started the process.
Right. I'm saying security in general.
Right. We're talking about mall cops here.
Right. Observe, report, and don't pay no attention. Right.
Yeah.
So they resolved that whole bit.
Or I'll say stop again.
I might pull a quarter off my change belt and call the police. So they give us all of that bullshit, right? That's interminably as stupid. The only thing not offensively stupid about these people, Pape says that was stupid. They made the specific point about the trip being space of lifetime. Kid K would have better. Exactly. There's probably a way to wiggle room how to timeline all this crap. I don't know. I mean, they're on their return trip when this all goes down. So you're right.
So
they probably couldn't do that.
If he sat there and if he knew that a ship left, you could do the math and do the dilation. That's not the far-fetched part. The far-fetched part is that him being from another company could actually call a ship from a rival company.
You could make the call, probably. I'd even give him that, but I'm like, it's like if you work for Burger King and I work for McDonald's, I can call McDonald's. I can call you, right? You know what I'm saying? But you know what I can't do? I can't get into your computer system. You know what I can't do? Get into your banking records or your schematics and shit like that. And that whole plot point hinges on boy douche knuckle being able to contact somebody through a sensitive system. He wasn't just calling this dude in a space Winnebago like it's Lone Star and the mom.
Gene Roland.
Puke. Barf. Right? Barf. John Candy's barf. He wasn't just calling a random friend. Like, no, he's calling a competitive vessel that has layers of security for their comms, for their computers. It's just dumb. It'd be like the Klingons getting a hold of Picard unofficially. Like, no, you can't do that. It doesn't work.
Klingons could have contacted Picard because Klingons were part of the Federation at that point.
I mean, in the end, they'd have done a red phone thing. A Gowron would have called. Yeah, I'm saying under normal circumstances, random like the Duras family could not have called Picard. No shot. No shot. Not even the sisters. They suck. Giant jumblies, though. Anyway.
All right. So I think we should wrap this up with the few good things that this episode has. So, because we bashed it for a straight 24 minutes.
Good effing luck, because the captain's a jackass. The alien dude. You know why I picked the thumbnail I picked? Like, the Xeno Massacre is the image of the thumbnail. It's so obviously dude in suit that it hurts. I'm like, dude, I get it. They've always had dude in suit for certain scenes, but you know what you do? Dude, he stood up and did this like sachet shoulder, and it's supposed to be evocative and like intimidating and some weird, Geiger sexualized kind of movement. I get that. That's what that all does. But it looked fucking dumb, and it's in the most brightly lit portion of the ship. She's in a hallway with like a fluorescent light on full fucking full power. It looked awful, dude. Awful. Dude, I got one more dumb I can't move on. I'm sorry. Dude, executive decision. I got one more dumb thing.
All right, one more dumb thing. Then we move on.
So I'm going to go back to Alien because Pape was kind enough to remind me that it was Kane that got the face hugger in the OG movie, right? So not only do they go through that entire, do we let them in? Do we not let them in? Ash overrides Ripley's correct decision to not open the door. Like if they had just not opened the effing door and instead initiated immediate quarantine outside into storage or whatever, no movie, no franchise, right?
Send them both in the airlock.
Same, right?
He's dead anyways, bro. He's dead,
when they bring Kane in, they tell you that they went through multiple attempts to remove the face hugger. We tried cutting a leg, or we went to pry a leg and the tail tightened and started to choke him. You know what I mean? So then what do? They try to scalpel one of the knuckles, thinking maybe they could just cut it quick, and that's what revealed the blood.
Mm-hmm.
And this entire process, they don't know that there's something being implanted through his throat. Like they don't talk about scans or anything like that. But like this asshole doctor's first decision was to cut it at the base of the tail and spill enough acid that he basically decapitated his captain.
Yep.
That was the play.
Well, this is the same medical guy who wakes up from cryosleep and lights a cigarette.
I said in episode 1, I like smoking. I'm not a smoker. I like the vibe that it puts off in movies because it reminds me of like the 80s, 70s, and 80s. I don't like sterile everywhere.
So you did hear that FX is making a new cowboy movie, right? They're doing a Western. They're trying to bring him back. And I found the casting for the horse. Let me show you this.
Here we go. It looks about right. It's from the same effects studio that shot this fucking scene with the Xeno. Looks about right. Get that off my screen. That looks creepy. That looks like some shit I would walk away from in a Comic-Con. The doctor slayed me on that. The cap jackass. Mara was right to leave her in the hallway. She was fucking useless.
Yep.
I can't. I can't with these people. And what slays me, right, is I had held out like this back shelf, this back shelf hope that this crew would have been, that we would have come on this episode tonight on FrostCast Wednesday nights at 9. Thank you everybody for being here, by the way. We appreciate you guys. That I'd have been like, dude, how come this show wasn't about this crew and trying to creatively solve problems and find a saboteur to save the ship so it doesn't crash? And then you piece by piece realize, oh shit, dude, it wasn't a random blowout. Oh shit, it could be any one of you. And then you oh wait, maybe it's somebody whose rotation has them in cryo sleep now. And then they figured out a way that they were able to like calm the monitor, because that line was stupid too. Well, the cryopod says they're full until they're not. Well, but then it doesn't say it's full. You know what I'm saying? I can't get out of my fucking 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe without it telling me to check the fucking back seats for a kid. It turns out it's just my backpack, right? I'm getting that alert in 2025. They're trying to tell me that an effing cryopod would read occupado if it wasn't. Stop it, show. You don't have to be this dumb.
No, we didn't even
don't
go
to
back.
Be fair me. Don't to be fair me.
My 2002 Chevy Blazer turns off the airbag if no one's sitting in the passenger seat.
Right.
You physically have to be sitting. Now we're even going back another like 23 years now from now.
I can't. My car literally tells me check the back seat for kids. That's where
I've seen that. That's pretty funny. It's sad that as a society we had to fall that far.
But I'll tell you what chaps my ass, right? That same thing works for the front seat. So if you happen to go grocery shopping and maybe you grab like a case of water or something and threw that on the front seat, the car, not only does it give you the warning, like because it comes up on my dash, it does the ding. It makes a ding like your seatbelt sound. Yep. And I'm like,
it's a case of water.
And there's no way to override that.
No,
for insurance reasons. Like
you just have to sit
if you
there
mess with that,
and just
if you mess with that, you void your warranty.
You're driving.
Right? Bing, bing.
Beep,
stop.
Beep.
And I can't. I can't with these assholes. They're killing me. And dude, never sell it, dude. Never sell it. Keep that vehicle. You have to keep that vehicle, right? Yeah. So yeah, cut
the seatbelts out, because that's important. You have to cut the seatbelts out in 1978.
I would have. No power steering either. You could get a good workout driving it around.
That's right.
Yeah, dude. We got to get away from Alien Earth. You mentioned there was a positive though, and then I kind of cut you off. Did you take away anything that wasn't aesthetics or set design? What did you find?
The eye thing. The eye thing. We actually saw that them and the xenomorph are not friends.
Yeah,
and they used the zombie that it had, which was the engineer guy.
Yep.
And he's out there and he freaking bit the xenomorph.
No, dude. I don't want to piss on your parade, right? I wanted to like that so much because I'm like, all right, he wants to throw some fists, but then I'm like, all right, you're an eye. You took over the oldest dude on the boat.
Yeah. Right.
And now all of a sudden you're doing parkour over the consoles and laying rear naked chokes on a xenomorph that's like 8 feet tall.
You don't,
and we know can body
that shot into his body from his tentacles.
Maybe, but could there have been a throwaway line 2 episodes about that in a test subject that got like the goat, the sheep or whatever it was? Like maybe it had smashed the glass, so we knew. Oh my god, how did it?
It did stand up on 2 feet.
No, stop. I wanted to like that. I did like that they
Bad.
fought each other. That was all right.
Bad luck.
It was fine. And then the captain dies, and I'm like, so the Xeno intermittently knows how to use its tail with lethal intent and then doesn't. Like when she went to draw her gun on it, and it went with the Mortal Kombat tail foot sweep and didn't kill her. And then somehow she got a 100-yard head start on this thing before it chased her, and she was able to outmaneuver it. It's just stupid. The plot does what the plot does. It doesn't do anything logically. It doesn't do anything consistently. It doesn't care about your time. It doesn't care about making anything make sense. The show is a massive disappointment. I'm going to go out on a limb and say it's probably a bigger disappointment through 5 episodes than The Last of Us Season 2 has been.